Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Spoydan here, and in this episode, we are going to be doing the black market decal wet paint. It has been a little while since I have done a black market decal episode, and I definitely miss it. Black market decals are one of my favorites to do designs with, so if you guys have not hit that subscribe button, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below to get up to date on my newest Rocket League videos. So let's get started with the first car design of the episode. Starting off, we do have the Cobalt Octane for the blue side. And then for the orange side, we have the Crimson Octane. For the decal, it is the wet paint unpainted black market decal for both sides. And then for the colors, for the primary for the blue side, we do have a Cobalt. And then the accent as a Saffron. And then for the primary for the orange side, we have a Crimson with the accent as a Sky Blue. For the wheels, for the orange side, we do have the Crimson Equalizers. And then for the blue side, we have the Cobalt Equalizers. And the reason why I chose the colors, so we have that primary as a Cobalt, and then the accent as a Saffron to match the lines of the Equalizer wheels. And I think wet paint does a great job of matching those lines. It looks really clean. And then for the orange side, we have that Crimson as the primary, and then the accent as a Sky Blue to match the lines of the Equalizers yet again. And it just looks super clean. It has that same type of flow. A really nice car. For the boost, for the orange side, we do have the Sunray painted Crimson. And I didn't know how nice Sunray looked until I picked up the normal one, and I went, wow, I have to get the painted versions. And it just looks super clean. That's why I chose it. Crimson Sunray just looks really good. And then for the blue side, we have the Cobalt Sunray, just because, you know, it looks really clean with wet paint as well. Has that same type of flow, you know? For no topper, no antenna, no goal explosion. But for the trail, we have the Laser Wave 3 painted Saffron for the blue side to match the Equalizer lines as well. Looks really nice. And then for the orange side, we do have the Sky Blue Laser Wave 3 to match the Equalizer lines yet again. So everything is about like matching the lines on this car. So this is the orange side. The wet paint does a very good job of matching it. Most of this car is based off of the lines. We have the trail, and then we have the decal itself, the wet paint. It just looks really good. And then that Crimson, like the primary, has like a matte type finish, which I really like about it. It's just really nice and clean. And then for the blue side, we have that Cobalt and then the Saffron to match the lines. Really clean car, looks nice. So getting into the next car design, we do have the Zomba wheels. So starting off, we do have the Forest Green Octane for the blue side. And then for the orange side, we have the Saffron Octane. For the decal, it is the wet paint unpainted black market decal for both sides. And then for the colors, for the primary for the blue side, we do have a Forest Green. And then the accent as a dark blue. And then for the primary for the orange side, we have a Saffron with the accent as a Sky Blue. For the wheels, for the orange side, we have the Saffron Zomba wheels. And then for the blue side, we do have the Forest Green Zomba wheels. So the reason why I chose the colors is to match the Zomba wheels. So we have that Forest Green and then the dark blue. Now, I originally did have the Sky Blue wet paint on there, but personally, I do not like the wet paints painted. They just don't look really good and they don't show as much color. So that is why I kept the normal one. Now, you can put on the Sky Blue wet paint if you have it to match all of the colors that the Zomba wheels have with the Forest Green, the dark blue, and then a little bit of the Sky Blue in the Zomba wheels. But I think the normal one will work just fine. And then for the orange side, we have that Saffron and the Sky Blue matching the Zomba wheels, looking really good. For the boost, for the orange side, we have the Super Magnavolt 3 painted Saffron for the orange side, matching that like matte type feeling that the primary has, looking really good. And then for the blue side, we do have the Forest Green Super Magnavolt 3, matching like that matte type feeling that the primary Forest Green has. No topper, no antenna, no goal explosion. But for the trail, for the blue side, we do have the Hack Swerve 1 to match that Forest Green. And then for the orange side, we have that Hack Swerve 2 to match that Saffron. So this is the orange side. I really like this side because that Saffron and the Sky Blue with wet paint looks really clean. And then for the blue side, we have that Forest Green and the dark blue. And then the non-painted one, like I said, you can put on the Sky Blue. I just am not a fan of the painted versions. It doesn't show as much color, especially since you're using two blues. So that is why I just kept it at the normal one. So getting into the next car design, we do have the Hypnotik wheels. So starting off, we do have the purple Octane for the blue side. And then for the orange side, we have the orange octane. For the decal, it is the wet paint black market decal, unpainted, for both sides. And then for the colors, for the primary for the blue side, we have a purplish blue, and then the accent as a light purple. And then for the primary for the orange side, we have a orange, and then the accent as a burnt sienna. For the wheels, for the orange side, they are the orange Hypnotiks. And then for the blue side, we do have the non-painted Hypnotiks. And the reason why I chose the color, so we have that dark purplish blue to match the primary of the wheels, and then the accent as a light purple, because obviously there is some light purple in there. And one thing I noticed about wet paint is that it blends into whatever the primary is, so it looks really clean with these non-painted Hypnotiks. And then for the orange side, we have that bright orange as the primary, and then the accent as a burnt sienna. Now, I know there isn't any burnt sienna in the orange Hypnotiks, but the color combination just looks really good, and you can really see that wet paint really does blend into whatever the primary is, and it just looks super clean. For the boost, for the orange side, we do have the orange Radiant Gush, and I like this one because it shows that bright orange as well as the burnt sienna in the back. And then for the blue side, we do have the purple Radiant Gush to match that dark purple, as well as a little bit of the light purple in there. But Radiant Gush has that same type of feeling that wet paint has. It just looks really clean, and Radiant Gush is definitely one of my favorite boosts when it comes down to the Rocket Pass boost. No topper, no antenna, no glow explosion for the trail. For the blue side, we do have the Laser Wave 1. I know, a really small trail, but it just has that like light purple that I was looking for. It gets a little bit of that light purple that the Hypnotiks have, so that's why I chose it. And then for the orange side, it is the orange Holodata, matching that burnt sienna as well as that bright orange. Holodata looks cool with that burnt sienna and the orange. So this is the orange side. Like I said, I know there isn't much burnt sienna in the Hypnotiks, but the color combination, and especially when it blends into that primary, just looks really good. You can barely even tell it's like a dark burnt sienna color. It's just barely visible, and it looks really clean. And then for the blue side, we have that dark bluish purple matching those wheels, and then the light purple, and you can't even tell that it looks a little bit of dark just because it blends into that primary, matching the wheels perfectly. So getting into the last and final car design of the episode, we do have the Hypnotik holographic wheels. So starting off, we do have the sky blue octane for the blue side, and then for the orange side, it is the burnt sienna octane. For the decal, it is the black market decal wet paint, unpainted, for both sides. And then for the colors, for the primary for the blue side, we have a sky blue with the accent as black. And then for the primary for the orange side, we have a burnt sienna with the accent as black yet again. For the wheels, for the orange side, they are the Hypnotik holographic painted burnt sienna. And then for the blue side, they are the sky blue Hypnotik holographic wheels. So the reason why I chose the colors, so once I figured out that wet paint blends colors in a way, I immediately thought of the holographic wheels. So we have that primary as a sky blue to match the wheels, and then the black as the accent, but you can barely even see it because it blends in with that sky blue. The only time you really see the accent color is at the top here with those lines going through it. Other than that, it blends into that sky blue, making it like a holographic type feeling, matching those Hypnotik's holographic perfectly. And then for the orange side, we have that burnt sienna as the primary to match the wheels, and then the accent as black, but yet again, you can barely see it because it looks more like a burnt sienna, and it just blends in with that primary that's the burnt sienna, and then the only time you can really see it is that black at the top of the car, matching like a Hypnotik holographic type feeling, like that holographic feeling, so it just looks really cool. For the boost, we have the Helios painted burnt sienna for the orange side. And then for the blue side, we do have the sky blue Helios boost. No topper, no antenna, no glow explosion. But for the trail, we have the Tachyon 3 unpainted for the blue side. And then for the orange side, it is the burnt sienna Tachyon 3. So this is the orange side. Wet paint does a great job of like blending in colors, which I did not know. So that is why I immediately thought of the holographic wheels, because it has a holographic type feeling. So for this side, we have that primary as a burnt sienna, and then the accent as black. but you would think it is like a darker burnt sienna just because you can't even see the black. So that is why I think it's really cool. But for the blue side, we have that sky blue matching the wheels, and then that black as the accent. But you wouldn't even think it's black because of how nicely it blends in with that sky blue. And I immediately think of like a holographic type car just because of how cool it looks. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys in the next episode.